Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into those gripping, real-life inspired revenge tales that keep you on the edge of your seat. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on these emotionally charged stories. Today, I've got a tale that's straight out of a Reddit nightmare, but with a twist of sweet, sparkling justice. This is my story. Yeah, I'm the one who lived it. I'm David, a 66-year-old retired insurance investigator, and let me tell you about the time my daughter's husband thought he could play me for a fool. He saw me as just an old man, easy pickings for his desperate schemes. But oh, how wrong he was. What started as a simple family visit turned into a web of lies, betrayal, and one hell of a glittering payback. Buckle up, because this is going to be a long one. We're talking layers of tension, psychological mind games, and a climax that'll make you cheer. Before we dive in, drop a comment below letting me know where you're watching from. All right, let's get into it. To really understand how this all unfolded, I need to take you back to the psychological roots of it all. You see, I've always been a methodical man, shaped by 30 years in insurance investigation. That job taught me to read people, the subtle tells of desperation, the masks people wear when they're hiding something dark. It's not just about facts, it's about motivations. Why does someone lie? What drives them to cross lines they never thought they would? For me, my core motivation has always been protection. First, my wife, God rest her soul, and then my daughter, Lauren. She's my everything, the light that kept me going after losing my partner. So when she called that Tuesday morning, her voice cracking with vulnerability, my protective instincts kicked in immediately. But beneath that, there was a deeper fear. The fear of being irrelevant, of that old man who can't help anymore. Little did I know that call would test every psychological fiber in me. It all began 3 weeks ago on a quiet Tuesday morning. I was sitting in my kitchen, the same one I've called home for 15 years in this peaceful suburb of Coeur d'Alene. The sun was filtering through the curtains, casting warm patterns on the wooden table where I was nursing my second cup of coffee and scanning the newspaper headlines. Life had been steady for me since my wife passed 5 back, routines that kept me grounded, like my morning reads and evening walks. These habits weren't just comfort, they were my anchor against the loneliness that creeps in when you're a widower. Psychologically, routines build a sense of control, especially after loss. But that day, my phone buzzed, shattering the calm. It was Lauren. Her name on the screen always brought a smile, but her voice, it was off, strained, like she was holding back tears. "Dad, I know it's early," she started, her words tumbling out in a rush. "Charlie lost his job last month. We've been trying to manage, but we're behind on everything. The mortgage, bills, it's bad." My heart sank. Lauren, my only child, 32 years old, always so independent. Hearing her like that twisted something inside me, a mix of paternal love and that gnawing worry that every parent feels when their child is in pain. "How far behind?" I asked, already reaching for my checkbook on the counter. I could hear her hesitation in her pause. 3 months, Dad. I hate to ask, but could we stay with you? Just for a bit, until Charlie lands something new." Of course, I said yes. What father wouldn't? But let's dig into my motivation here. It wasn't just generosity, it was a chance to reclaim that role of provider, to feel needed again. Lauren had always been my pride, smart, kind, with a laugh that could light up any room. She'd met Charlie 8 years ago at some corporate event. He seemed solid back then, a steady job and sales, charming smile. But lately, things felt off. I pushed the thought aside. Family comes first. "Come home, sweetheart," I told her. "There's plenty of space." The relief in her voice was palpable, like a weight lifting. But even then, a small nagging doubt crept in. Why hadn't she mentioned the job loss sooner? Why was Charlie handling all the finances, leaving her in the dark? Psychologically, doubt like that stems from pattern recognition, my investigator brain spotting inconsistencies. I chalked it up to stress. Little did I know, that call was the first thread in a tapestry of deception woven from Charlie's own twisted motivations. 3 days later, they pulled up in a U-Haul, packed to the brim. Lauren jumped out first, her eyes red-rimmed but smiling as she hugged me tight on the doorstep. "Thank you, Dad. You're a savior." I held her close, feeling the familiar warmth of having her home. That hug stirred something deep, a psychological balm against my isolation. Charlie followed, unloading boxes with a firm handshake for me. "Nice place, David," he said, his eyes sweeping over the house like he was appraising it for auction. His tone was casual, but there was an intensity in his gaze that set off a faint alarm in my gut. 30 years as an insurance investigator had honed my instincts for spotting inconsistencies, people who smiled too wide while their eyes calculated. Charlie's motivation? From what I'd learned later, it was pure survival instinct gone wrong, addiction-fueled desperation. Gamblers like him often rationalize their actions as temporary fixes, but it spirals into manipulation. But I brushed it off. He was family now, right? We spent the afternoon settling them into the guest room down the hall from mine. Lauren chatted away about old memories, while Charlie asked questions, lots of them, about the neighborhood watch, my daily routines, even where I kept spare cash. "Just getting the lay of the land," he said with a grin. Innocent enough, I thought. How wrong I was. Those questions were probes driven by his need to map vulnerabilities. The first week flew by in a blur of adjustments. I'd cleared space in the closets, stocked the fridge with their favorites. Lauren slipped back into the house rhythms easily, helping with meals, sharing stories over coffee. Her motivation was clear, seeking stability in chaos, clinging to the familiarity of home. But Charlie, he was different. His phone rang constantly, calls he'd take outside or in another room, emerging tense, pacing. "Job prospects," he'd say when Lauren asked, but I'd catch snippets, urgent tones, mentions of debts and deadlines. Mail started arriving addressed to him, thick envelopes from credit card companies, collection agencies. I assumed it was fallout from the layoff. Lauren seemed oblivious, trusting him completely. "Charlie's got it under control," she'd say. That blind trust, it's a classic psychological defense, denial to protect the relationship. I wanted to believe that, for her sake. But the questions kept coming. One morning he offered to drive me to the bank. "Save you the trip," he said. At the teller, he lingered, watching my deposit, asking about account types, safety deposit boxes. Red flags waved, but I ignored them. My motivation? Avoidance. I loved Lauren too much to rock the boat, fearing I'd push her away. Then came that fateful dinner. It was a Friday evening, the air thick with the scent of roast chicken I'd prepared, one of Lauren's favorites. We were midway through the meal, forks clinking against plates, when Charlie's voice sliced through the chatter. "So, David, that safe upstairs, what kind of lock does it have?" Lauren nearly choked on her water. "Charlie, what kind of question is that?" But his eyes stayed locked on mine, something predatory lurking there. My chest tightened. I set my fork down slowly, buying time. "Just curious about home security," he pressed, flashing that practiced smile. "With all the break-ins lately." "Break-ins? I'd lived here 15 years. The biggest drama was a cat in a tree." "What break-ins?" I asked. He waved it off. "Oh, you probably don't hear about them. They keep it quiet." He leaned in, elbows on my table. "But a man your age, alone in a big house, you must have serious measures." Lauren shifted uncomfortably. "Dad's always careful." But Charlie pushed. "What about insurance? If something happened to you, God forbid, Lauren would need to know where everything is, right?" His words dripped with false concern, But psychologically, it was classic projection, his own fear of loss driving him to exploit mine. The room shrank. I watched him, pupils dilating at the mention of my demise, fingers drumming impatiently. This wasn't casual talk, it was probing. "I have everything organized," I said evenly. "Lauren knows what she needs." But then, "Does she know about the key?" The words hung like smoke. Lauren frowned. "What key?" Charlie's smile widened. "The one in your dad's bedroom drawer." My blood ran cold. "How do you know about any key in my bedroom?" Sharp words escaped before I could soften them. His mask slipped, a flash of cold calculation before recovering. "I was looking for aspirin last week. Headache was killing me. Lauren told me to check your cabinet, but I opened the wrong drawer. Sorry." Lauren nodded. "I remember that. You were miserable." But I remembered, too. He'd been upstairs 30 minutes, claiming stomach issues. Aspirin was in the medicine cabinet, not my dresser. Always had been. That lie? A gambler's quick think. Adrenaline-fueled deception to cover tracks. The conversation dragged on, but Charlie circled back. Banks, house keys, routines. Each question felt like a probe, testing weaknesses. Dinner ended. Lauren cleared dishes. "I'll handle it, Dad." Charlie steered her upstairs. Let him do his thing. Alone in the kitchen, scrubbing plates, I replayed it all. The key he shouldn't know about. Casual talk of my death. Red flags I'd ignored. His vague unemployment story. Constant financial interest. Studying my house like blueprints. The kitchen gleamed, but the house felt exposed. Psychologically, violation like that triggers a fight-or-flight response. Mine was fight, buried under calm. Upstairs, muffled voices faded to silence. Climbing the stairs, I noticed my bedroom door ajar, 2 inches of darkness. I'd closed it before dinner, always did. A habit for 40 years alone, a psychological boundary for privacy after loss. I froze, listening, heart pounding. Pushed the door open silently, hinges oiled. Room looked normal, bed made, glasses on nightstand, but details screamed wrong. Closet door open 4 inches. I always shut it. Dresser drawers not flush. Second one showed a manila folder peeking out. Stomach clenching, I pulled it open. Folders rifled, papers mixed, insurance with bank statements. My will shifted forward. And the key, taped under the lip, gone. Fingers confirmed, nothing. The safe key for manual override. Charlie had asked about the safe. This wasn't random, it was targeted. Rage shook my hands. Not fear, violation, personal, intimate. Someone had touched my life, cataloged it. How many times while I was downstairs? Psychologically, this is territorial invasion. It ignites primal anger, especially for someone like me who's built walls against vulnerability. But he'd assumed I wouldn't notice. Old fool, too trusting. Wrong. That underestimation, Charlie's hubris, a common trait in addicts who think they're smarter than their marks. I closed the drawer, leaving it as found. Let him think undetected, proceed with his plan. Now I knew. Theft, premeditated, by the man sleeping with my daughter. My motivation shifted to strategic revenge, not just protection, but teaching a lesson. I checked the safe, digital lock intact, but irrelevant now. In the closet, surrounded by my life, exposure hit hard. But knowledge was power. I'd gather evidence, lie awake, plan. Sleep evaded me. Ceiling stared back as I cycled revelations. Every sound tensed me. At 11:47 p.m., footsteps downstairs. Heavy, deliberate, Charlie. I stayed still, breathing even. Sounds moved to front, then voice. "Yeah, it's me. Everyone's asleep." Phone call, whispers. I eased up, mattress silent, floor cold to vent, old ducts carried sound. The old man is loaded, bank statements, portfolios, serious money. Cold blood. We're talking accomplice. Tomorrow night, Lauren's book club, 7 to 9, perfect timing. Phone out, recording app. Have the safe key, grabbed it today during dinner. Old fool keeps everything there, cash, jewelry. The words fueled my rage, his contempt, reducing me to a stereotype. Psychologically, that's dehumanization, making betrayal easier. Bastard. Pressed record. Gambling debts aren't going away. Those guys aren't patient. Explained desperation. Addiction's vice, where fear overrides morality. David's lonely old widower, no idea. Handed info at dinner. Rage built. Won't suspect family. Lauren'll convince him misplaced stuff, old memory. 66, not senile. My sharp mind was my weapon. By Thursday, clear. Job offer elsewhere. Gone before he knows. Laugh. Should have been careful who we let in. Call ended. Footsteps up. Stopped recording. Phone under pillow. Door ajar. Shadow passed. Guest room closed. Processing. Gambling debts. Accomplice. Rob tomorrow. Disappear with Lauren. Using her as cover. Betrayal deeper. Psychologically, Charlie was in survival mode, but sociopathic, exploiting love without remorse. But mistake, assumed helpless. 30 years investigating fraud, dealt with desperate cons. My motivation? Justice, laced with paternal fury. Charlie wanted games? Fine, I'd bite back, driven by a need to reclaim control. Woke 6:30, routine, recording reel. Coffee, breakfast. Lauren down, robe yawning. Morning, Dad. Smiled warmly. Charlie later, confident. Beautiful morning. Plans? Set coffee. Usual errands, hardware, bank. Eye twitch. Everything okay financially? Lauren laughed. Dad's paranoid, old habits. Careful, I corrected. Jungle out there for my age. Nodded enthusiastically. Identity theft. Dismissal again, his superiority complex shining through. Thinking home security, he continued. Quiet neighborhood, but man alone, valuables. Lauren, safe for 15 years. Ignored. Safe for documents, cash? Audacity. Eating my food, inventorying assets. Driven by greed, masking his concern. Have what I need. Heavy sleeper? Good for older folks. Hadn't said that. Nodded. Dead to world, especially tired. Take sleep aids. Posture relaxed. Perfect. Think me unconscious. My deception? Psychological warfare, lulling him into overconfidence. Cleared dishes. Turn in early. Family tires me. Perfect, Lauren. Charlie glanced stairs, calculating. Stay up late. TV. Comfortable. After, he calls job prospects. Lauren organizes. Window. Errands now. Drove out. Charlie watching from my bedroom window. Hands tightened wheel. Tonight. His voyeurism? Power play. Invading my space mentally. Hardware store first. Supplies. Planning. Charlie's plan. Enter room. Key. Move to junk drawer at 5 a.m. Open safe. But not enough. Wanted caught, exposed. Evidence undeniable. Party aisle. Confetti cannon. Spring-loaded. Glitter bag. Ultra-fine. Sticky. Silver. Gold. Psychologically, glitter was humiliation, marking him visibly, stripping dignity. Basement workshop. Dismantled cannon. Replaced confetti with glitter. Calibrated trigger for back reach, key spot. Tests perfect. Installed drawer, hidden. Dummy key front, similar luggage one. Spot, reach, boom. The setup played on his greed, temptation leading to downfall. By 1:45, set. House empty. Note, shopping, back 2. Perfect. Their outing, Charlie's facade maintenance, keeping Lauren compliant. Lunch over. Quick errand. Lauren offered help. Electronics store. Charlie interested. House unguarded. Best Buy. Marcus helped. Security camera, bedroom. Break-ins? Something. Small, wireless, night vision, motion detect, battery 8 hours, app real time. Camera. Undeniable proof, satisfying my need for concrete justice. Home, they TV. Rest. Upstairs, closed door. Tested positions. Nightstand between books. Angled dresser, room. Camouflaged. Motion mode, conserve. Night vision clear. Audio 2. Elegant. Film entry, search, explosion. My meticulousness, trauma response from years of seeing cons succeed. This time, I'd win.
Downstairs ready. Charlie calculating hours. No idea trap. His ignorance? Delicious irony. Dinner peaceful. Lauren neighborhood chat. Charlie phone. Played tired. 8 p.m. living room. Rub temples. Early bed. Charlie. Drink first. Bonding. Sudden. McAllen kitchen. Casual. 2. Lauren. Sweet. Medication no mix. Pushed. 1 sip. Glass poured. Splash for me. Innocent, but needed me drugged. His persistence? Panic, fearing I'd wake. Can't. Insisted. Lauren. Respect no. Mask slipped. Frustration. Panic. More tired. Take sleeping pill. Dead till morning. Relief. Perfect. Upstairs slow. Gripped railing. Don't stay late. Sleep well. Bedroom. Changed. Brushed. Checked camera trap. Light off. Clothed. Watched hall. Downstairs TV soft. Talk. Lauren up. Guest closed. Charlie waited. My vigil? Adrenaline-fueled resolve. 2:43 a.m. Stair creak. Motionless hours. Camera feed empty. Charlie avoided groans. New house. Hall whisper. Listened. Breathing deep. Handle turned slow. Silhouette doorway. Frozen 30s. Slipped in. Dark clothes. Shadows. To dresser confident. Drawer open. Triumph posture. Reached back. Boom. Explosion echoed. Glitter cloud. Head to toe sparkling. Stumbled. Cursed. Brushing. What hell? Sat up. What noise? Lamp on. Charlie frozen. Glittering. Dummy key hand. Charlie? Bedroom? Mouth fish-like. Glitter snow. Feet hit floor. Lauren. Panic eyes. Noise. Breaking in. Sparkling? Trap. In bedroom? Lauren doorway. Okay? Stopped. Seen. Christmas decoration? Noise. 3 a.m. Glitter? Security device. Lauren to drawer. Me. Security furniture? Confusion. Asleep till explosion. Why drawer? Edge protective. Sleep aids. Tossing. Dresser? Medications bathroom. Silence heavy. Left bed 3 a.m. Opened private drawer for wrong medication. Not like that. What like? Confused. Breaking in. Search furniture? Interrogating? Husband. Defensive. Lauren back. Explain. Trust crumbling. Cognitive dissonance shattering. Truth now. Charlie panic. Something here. Phone. Recorded conversation. White face. Don't. Don't what? Play. Voice-filled room. Loaded. Serious money. Still face. Book club timing. Stop. Shut up. Safe key. Old fool. Hand mouth. Gambling debts. Whisper. Lonely widower. No idea. Crumble. Suspect family. Lauren convince. Old memory. Struck sound. Job offer. Gone. Stop. Silence. Gambling? Rob? Listen. Called fool. Steal. Disappear. Step toward. Back away. How much? Sagged. 47,000. Legs gave. Sank. Lying months. Job. Finances. Stay. Protect by robbing me. Shout. Using alibi. Destroy who raised me. Work out. No. Victimize father. Names. Lied. Out. Not finished. Half mine. Half debt? Closer. Oh, dangerous. Fight with what?
Bravado crumbled. Your fault, old man. No, yourself. Rob, instead help. Called names. Lied. Vows. Broke felony family. Point door. Out now. Realized over. Bags. Glitter trail. Guest throwing. Lauren chair. Sorry, brought him. Danger. Couldn't know. Signs. Calls. Questions. Tears. How long known? Night before. Protect us. Glitter genius. Caught glitter-handed. Laugh. Charlie doorway. Bags. Sparkling. Leave key. Don't contact. Lawyer. Slam. Car away. Silence. Stay. Home always. 3 months later. Coffee. Lauren down. Job dressed. Morning. Regrets glitter. Chuckle. Should have filmed it. Divorce finalized. Contested nothing. Charges. Debt. Library busy? Story time. Genealogy. Smile. Love quiet. Pause. Thank for protecting elegantly. Trusting. After left, coffee. Paper. Peaceful. No tension. Text. Mrs. Henderson security. Word around methods. Laugh. Patent confetti? Spring over. Justice instincts. Traps. Reveal. Sparkles. Looking back, the psychological layers run deep. Charlie's motivations were rooted in addiction, that cycle of thrill, loss, desperation. He underestimated me because of age bias, a common cognitive error. Lauren's journey from denial to empowerment shows resilience. And me? It reaffirmed my investigator's edge, turning vulnerability into victory. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, comment impressions. Next story, box left. Thanks watching.